Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be playing a game of Aeon's End. So hopefully you're familiar with that game. We're going up against the Arachnos nemesis, which is the nemesis, one of the nemesis that came in the New Age wave of content. So it's a very interesting nemesis, some pretty unique characteristics about it. I've set up the market cards on the left there. I'll run through them from low to high cost. So the first is Burning Opal, gain 3 ether. You may discard a card in hand. If you do, any ally draws a card. Second, Recurring Jasper, gain 2 ether. If the top card of your discard pile is a spell, you may place this gem on top of your deck. Exogranite, gain 2 ether, or destroy this, gain 3 ether. First relic then is Marble Galaxy. Any ally may discard a Marble Galaxy in hand and draw a card. Gain 1 charge or focus your closed breach with the lowest focus cost. If an ally discarded a Marble Galaxy, resolve both effects. Second relic then is Focusing Orb. Focus any player's breach or destroy this. Gravehold gains 3 life. The first spell came in the base Aeon's End set. So Spectral Echo, cast 2 damage. You may destroy a card in hand. Fatal Harmony then came in the new wave, the new age expansion. Deal 4 damage. Any ally may discard a Fatal Harmony in hand and draw a card. If they do, deal 3 damage. Wildfire Whip, a spell from the base game. While prepped during your main phase, you may spend 2 ether to cast any player's prep spell, and then you can deal 4 damage when you cast it. And the last one is from the New Age, Spirit Lift. While prepped, once during your turn, when you gain a charge, any ally gains 2 charges, and on cast it deals 5 damage. And so those are the market cards we have today. In terms of the mages that we're playing with Jian, which came in the base set, and Soskel, which came in the New Age wave. Recurring Jasper and Burning Opal. So yeah, that's what we're playing today. As you can see, the life dials are green for Jian, and Soskel has a white one. The reason I've done that is because I'm using a bag instead of the turn order deck, so I'm just going to draw dice out of the bag. So the red is going to be for the Nemesis turn, white for Soskel, and green for Jian. So I think that's everything, and we can get started. So the first turn is going to be for Soskel. And his starting hand is a Spark, Lucky Coin, and 3 crystals. So I think I'm going to prep the Spark, and so I have 4 ether to spend. And I think what I'm going to get is I think I will buy a Spectral Echo. That does let 1 ether go to waste, but I think it's important to get a spell that deals greater amount of damage as early as possible. Although if I go I might actually buy the Recurring Jasper, because in my next hand I'm going to have 4 as well, actually. It's a tough decision. I think I'll just go with the Spectral Echo. And then we draw back up to 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next turn goes to Jian. Okay. So he starts with 2 sparks, which I'm going to prep immediately. And we have 3 ether, or 4 if we use Moonstone Shard to gain a gem. So I think I'm going to buy a recurring Jasper. Two. Yeah, let's do that. Draws back up to 5, and the next turn is the Nemesis. So we draw from the Nemesis deck, and it's a minion. So Drillbeak Worm has a persistent effect. Any player suffers 1 damage, and Gravehold suffers 1 damage. So we'll place that down. That could be painful. Okay. And the next turn then is Jian again. Okay, so I think I will cast these 2 sparks and deal the 2 damage. Take that to 4. Prep these immediately. We have 3 here, so I think I'll buy the Spectral Echo. And then we flip over and draw back up to 5. 5. And the next turn goes to Soskel. I'll cast the Spark, take that to 3. 3. Prep. And then we have 4 on the last turn. Yeah, so I think for this I will buy the recurring Jasper. It goes straight there. Flip and draw back up. 5. And the next turn then has to be the Nemesis. So any player suffers 1 damage, Gravehold suffers 1 damage, so I'll take that to Jian. So Jian goes to 9, and Gravehold goes to 29. And we draw a new card. So his Unleash effect is move the Arachnos token 1 space forward on the ritual track, which is, so it starts there and it goes to 4. The player with the most prep spells suffers 1 damage and discards a prep spell. So Jian has the most, so he goes down to 8 and discards a Spark. And that gets discarded. So that's the end of that. And the next turn goes to Jian. So we'll cast the Spark, deal 2 damage, place the Spark, and he is now 2, 3, 4, 5 ether, or 6 if he wants to use it to gain a spell. I think I will spend 5 to get a Fatal Harmony. And that is that for Jian this turn. 2, 3, 4, 5. And the next turn goes to the Nemesis. So I think for this one I will give the damage to Soskel. So he goes to 9 and Gravehold goes to 28. We draw again, and it's another Unleash. So it goes to there. Gravehold suffers 1 damage and any player suffers 2. So I'll take Soskel down to 7, and that goes to there. And the next turn is Soskel. So I'll take the 1 with the Spark, Spectral Echo, and 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 here. I think I will. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I will buy a Focusing Orb. Yeah, I'll buy the Focusing Orb. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the next turn goes, it's Jian. Okay, so we'll cast the Spark to get rid of the minion. And we're going to prep the Spectral Echo on the Spark. And he has 3 ether to spend. I think for this, gain 1 charge or focus your close breach. I think I'm going to spend 3 to send the Arachnos token back, or the Nemesis token back a space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Leaves that, and the next turn is Soskel. So I'll cast this and deal 2 damage to the Nemesis. Takes it to 68. I'll prep that, and I have 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think for this I'm going to buy a Burning Opal for 5. We discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last turn has to be then the Nemesis. And for this it's another attack card. Arachnos gains 1 Nemesis token, or unleash, any player suffers 3 damage. I think we're going to give him a Nemesis token because our damage is, I don't want to take the damage at the moment. Okay, so that's that. And the next turn is Soskel. Okay, so I'm going to play Focusing Orb to focus this and prep a Spark. And then I have 1, 2, I have 3 Ether. Actually, I will pay 3 to open this then. And we discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next turn is Nemesis. Okay, so it's a power card. We can discard it for 5 Ether. Unleash, Arachnos gains 1 Nemesis token. So that's a power 2. And that is that turn for the Nemesis. The next turn is Jian. Okay. So I have 3 spells in hand, so what I'm going to do is deal or cast that for 2 damage. I will do that to the Nemesis. 6. And I may destroy a card in hand. I think I'm going to destroy the Spark, which puts that over there. I'll prep the Fatal Harmony. Well, I'll cast this first, so 65. I'll prep Fatal Harmony and the Spark, and I have, if the top card of your discard pile is a spell, you may place this gem on top of your deck. So I'm going to gain 4 Ether, well 3 if I want to buy anything other than a gem, and then 4 if I want a gem. I think I'm going to 3. I think I will. I think I'll buy a recurring Jasper for 4. And I think I'm going to not place this on my deck. I'm going to discard it, and I'll draw back up to 5, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The next turn then goes to Soskel. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to cast 1 Spark, take that to 64. I'll prep Spectral Echo. I'm I'm going to spend 6. Well, so I'm going to gain 3, 4, 5, 6 ether. And I'm going to buy a Wildfire Whip. And Burning Opal allows me to discard a card in hand, and if I do, any ally draws a card, so I'm going to discard a crystal, and that allows Jian to draw a card, and that is my turn. So we draw back up to 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's Soskel for this round, and the next turn is the Nemesis, so that goes to 1. And we have another minion, which is the Chanters. Arachnos gains 1 Nemesis token. Now that's a persistent effect, and he has a health of 4. So the last turn then is Jian. I think for this I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to cast the Fatal Harmony for 4, which kills that minion. And I'm going to prep a Spark, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to spend 5 ether to discard this power. And that's my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we go to the next round. And the next turn is, it's Soskel. So we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4 in hand. 4 ether in hand. I think I will cast this Spectral Echo. And that goes to 62. And I think I will spend I will play Focusing Orb to focus Jian's Breach 3. And then I will spend the 4 crystals to move this back 1. Draw back up to 5. Next turn. The Nemesis, and this is an attack card, so any player discards 3 cards in hand and suffers 2 damage. So for this we can probably 1, 2, 3, or I think I'm gonna want to discard from Soskel's hand. So I will discard the Spark and 2 crystals. Well, I'll discard the 3 crystals, I think. And suffers 2 damage. So we'll take that down to 5. Where is it? There we go. And that's that. And it's Jian now. Okay, so Jian has, I'm going to cast 1 Spark, 61. I'll cast the other one as well for 60 and prep those 2. And then I have 2, 4, 5, 6 to spend on a gem, or 5. I think I will buy a Fatal Harmony. Actually, no. I'm gonna buy a Burning Opal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's the Nemesis. So another attack. So Gravehold suffers 5 damage, or Arachnos gains 2 Nemesis tokens. I'm gonna take the damage to Gravehold. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. trying to avoid Arachnos getting many Nemesis tokens. So it's now Jian again. So he does. I'm going to cast the Spectral Echo for 2. So 58. Prep the Fatal Harmony. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think for this I'm going to buy 2 charges with the 4 ether. So there we go, and we draw back up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. And the next turn is Soskel. So he cast 1 spark, and I'll just prep those 2 because he had to discard 3 cards on the last 5. And that is that turn. The next one is Soskel. So, yeah, okay. So I will cast Wildfire Whip for 4 damage. It goes to 53. Prep Spectral Echo. I'll play Focusing Orb. And choose to focus Jan's Breach. And then I have 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I'm going to buy another Wildfire Whip. And that is that turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's Jian. Okay, so 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I will cast Fatal Harmony. Does he have any? No. Okay, so we deal 4 damage, so that goes to 49. And I'll cast this spark as well. 48. Prep 2 sparks. I have 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm going to buy a Wildfire Whip with that 6. And we will 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next one is Nemesis. It's another attack. So unleash twice. On the reminder unleash effect, move the Arachnos token 1 space forward. So moves it twice. Any player suffers 1 damage and places their most expensive card in hand on top of their deck. Okay, so that would be the recurring Jasper for Jian, and for Soskel it would be. I think for this I'm going to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to place the lucky coin back on top and take 1 damage, so take that to 4. And that is that. And it's Soskel's turn. So I'm going to cast the Spectral Echo for 2 damage. 7, 6. And we have 1, 2, 3. We have 4. So I think we're going to buy 2 charge tokens with that for Soskel. And number 2. Discard, and we draw back up to 5. 4, 5. The next one then, Nemesis. It's a power card, so we can spend 7 to discard it. It's a power 2, unleash twice. The player with the fewest open breaches suffers 3 damage. Okay. So, and the last one then is Jian. So I think here we want to 2, 3, 4, 5. Dang. I think I will open this breach. Yeah, I'll open that breach and prep. So that, yeah, and that's him. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is this round over with. The next one is Nemesis, so that goes to 1. And this is another one, so spend 7, power 3, Arachnos gains 1 Nemesis token, Gravehold suffers 4 damage. Okay, that's a power 3. So, next turn is Soskel. So, we can 1, 2, 3. I'm going to prep that. 1, 2. Actually, no. I'll cast this spark. It does 1 damage. I'll prep that, and then I'm going to spend 2 to gain another charge, and let the 1 go to waste. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm really hoping to get 7 ether to be able to discard those. No. So this has to, so unleash twice. 1, 2. The player with the fewest open breaches suffers 3 damage. Oh no. So that goes to 1. Dang. So that goes 2. Let me draw another, is a minion, so 8. Unleash, any player suffers 1 damage. So Soskel is not looking good. Next one is Jian. So, 2. Okay, so we can cast this for 3 damage. 2. That's 2 damage plus the 1 from the open breach. I'm going to destroy the spark. We can cast this spark for 1 more. Oh, no, sorry. I should have done, I'll put that back up to 45, and I'll do the 3 to this. And then I will do 1 more to that, which is 4. So he has 4 left. And then I will prep these 2. And I have 2 ether left. And I'm going to spend that 2 ether and activate Wildfire Whip, so I can spend 2 ether to cast any player's prepped spell. And I'm going to cast Fatal Harmony for 4 damage and take out that minion. And that is the end of that turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we have Jian again. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to spend. So I think I'm going to cast this for 5 damage. And that goes to 40. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to spend 7 ether to discard this card. And I have 1, 2. I'm going to spend 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. going to spend 2 to gain another charge. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one is Soskel. So I'm going to cast the Wildfire Whip for 4 damage. This goes to 36. I'm going to prep the Wildfire Whip. I'm going to focus my Breach 3. And I have 3, 4, 5, 6. So I think I'm going to spend these this 6 to. I'm going to spend 3 to move that back 1, and then I think I'm going to spend 2 to gain another charge, which charges him fully, and this places an energized token on any player's breach that doesn't have one already, and I think I'm going to place that there, and that discards those 4 charges. So 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to discard the crystal, which allows any ally to draw a card from Burning Opal. So Jian can draw this, and that is my turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. John's turn. I think I will cast this for 1 damage. 35. I'll prep those 3. And then I have 3 ether, which I'm going to spend to send that back 1 notch. And draw back up. 4, 5. And the next one is Soskel. So I think I will cast the Wildfire Whip for 4 damage, and because I have a Surge token on that breach, the Surge token, whenever you cast a spell, an energized token, that player gains 1 charge. So I will cast that for 4 damage, which takes him down to 31, and I gain a charge token. And I'm going to prep Spectral Echo on that, and I'm also going to buy another 2 charges with the 4 ether I have in hand, and that is all for this turn. I'm quite worried about his health, so I'm trying to get the charge tokens back up so I can discard that, and he will then gain 4 life. 4, 5. And then the next turn is Jian. So we have Wildfire Whip. So I'm going to cast Fatal Harmony for 4 damage. Unfortunately, I don't think Soskel has a Fatal Harmony in hand. No, he doesn't. So we do 4 damage from Fatal Harmony, plus 1 for casting from Breach 3. So I will take that down to 27. And then I will also cast the Spectral Echo which does 2 more. And so I'll prep that Wildfire Whip. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8. So I'll spend 2 to get that charge. Okay, so I think I can. I'm going to spend all these charges to cast Spectral Echo. Cast any player's prep spell without discarding it. Then cast that prep spell again. I'm actually going to cast this Wildfire Whip. So that will do 5 damage. 20. And then cast that prep spell again. So go to 15. So that's a good combination. And then you discard. So that was 2 I spent. So I still have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I still have 6. And I think with this 6, I will buy another Wildfire Whip. Yeah. And then 2, 3, 4, 5. That's Jan's turn over. He should have 3, sorry. Next turn is Nemesis. Dang. So 2 discard 4 cards at hand. Power 1, unleash twice. Gravehold suffers 3 damage. So I'm hoping Soskel gets another turn before that. Next one is Soskel, brilliant. So I am going to unleash twice. Gravehold suffers. I'm going to cast this and deal 2 damage and gain a charge. So 13. And that gains 1 charge, which fully charges Soskel. I'm going to spend those charges to discard an energize token from there. And he gains 4 life, so it takes him to 5. I'm going to prep Wildfire Whip, and I'm going to discard these 4 cards to get rid of that power. And that is my turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next is, it has to be the Nemesis. And for that it's a minion. So if Arachnos has 3 or less Nemesis tokens, Arachnos gains 1 Nemesis token. Otherwise, any player suffers 3 damage. Ouch. I've got to get rid of that as soon as possible. Next is, it's going to be Soskel. So, So I'm going to cast Wildfire Whip for 4 damage. Takes him to 4. I'm going to prep Wildfire Whip. I'm going to play that to focus my Breach 3. I have 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to spend 2 Ether to cast this again, so I can spend 2 to cast any player's prep spell. I'll deal 4 more damage. Ooh, that would have been 8 to him, 3, 9, 5. Yeah, I'll do that. So that was 2 spent out of 6, so I still have 4, and I'll buy 2 more charges. And that is that turn. I draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next is Nemesis. 10. Oh. Any player suffers 3 damage. If this minion has 6 or less life, it gains 3 life. Ooh. Oh no. 10. It's going to be Soskel. So he's 1, 2, 3, 4. Prep that. I'll spend 4 ether to gain 2 more charges. And I'll spend those 4 charges to put an energized token on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have Nemesis. Any player suffers 3 damage. I'll take that to Jian. And next is Unleash twice. Ooh. The player with the most expensive card in hand discards 3 cards in hand. Then for each card in that player's hand that costs 2 ether or more, that player suffers 2 damage. Oh, the player with the most expensive card in hand. So I think that's going to be Soskel, because he is at 1 for 6. And Jian does not. So Soskel discards 3 cards in hand, so I'm going to discard 3 crystals. No, no, I will discard 1 crystal, Wildfire Whip, and a Spark. And then for each card in hand that costs 2 ether or more, which is 0, so that doesn't have any effect. And then the next is Jian. Okay, so I'll prep that. 2, 2, 3. So I have 4. I'm going to buy 2 charges with that. Actually, yeah, I should have cast that, and I'll take that down to 9. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, no. I'll leave that at 10 and go for 12 instead. And the next is this. Okay, so we'll cast that for 2. It goes to 10. I'm going to 5. No, he doesn't. I will prep that, and that. Ah, we're 1 short. No. We could have finished it. Ah, darn. Okay, so I'll just discard that and draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah. Okay, well, we need a bit of luck here. Next is the Nemesis. Any player suffers 3 damage. I'll take Soskel down to 2. And we draw Unleash twice. Gravehold suffers 4 damage. So 1. When the token moves forward to this space, Arachnos gains 1 Nemesis token. That's 2, and then 2. Gravehold suffers 4 damage. So 18. That hurts. And it is Soskel. So I'll cast this for 2. And I'll gain a charge off that as well, because of the energized token. And then I will spend 2 to gain another charge. Let me draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's Soskel again. Prep Wildfire Whip. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to play that to focus my Breach 3. Or actually, no, sorry, I won't. I will destroy this, and Gravehold gains 3 life. So 21. And then I have 3, 4, 5. I have 6, so I'm going to spend 4 to get 2 more charges. And I'm going to spend those charges immediately to discard this energized token and gain 4 life. So taking him back up to 6. So that's 4 spent. 6, 2. And I'm going to spend 2 to cast this immediately. Which will be... No, I won't. I will... Yeah, I'll spend 2 to cast this, taking it down to 4. And that is my turn, so... Yep. Go back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then next is the Nemesis. Darn. Any player suffers 3 damage, so I think I'll take Soskel down to 3. And then a minion, so 15. Persistent Arachnos gains 1 Nemesis token and Unleash. So we'll put that at 12 and then 3. Okay, next it's going to be Jian. So we will deal 4, cast this for 4, and that kills the Nemesis. And then when the Nemesis dies, so this is a special rule here. So when the players would win the game and the World Devourer has not entered play yet, Arachnos loses a Nemesis token, and the ritual is complete. So he had 2 Nemesis tokens. He loses 1 and has 1 left, and the ritual is complete. So the ritual is complete. Flip this mat over. And what happens when the ritual is complete? When the ritual is complete, resolve the following. Remove the Nemesis deck, all minions and powers from the game. Do not finish resolving any Nemesis cards that were being resolved when the ritual was completed. Skip the Nemesis draw phase for the rest of the game. Find the World Devourer card that has the tier number equal to the number of Nemesis tokens Arachnos has and place it into play. Flip over the ritual track. So he has 1 Nemesis token left. So we go to the World Devourer deck and find tier number 1, which is a minion that gets placed into play. So everything else is discarded. And this minion gets placed into play. So what this minion does is immediately set this minion's life equal to the current life of Arachnos plus 10. At the start of each Nemesis turn, Gravehold suffers 3 damage. Any player suffers 3 damage. So this gets set to 0 plus 10 is 10. And So we can... what I will do is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to cast this for 5, which takes him down to 5. And then I'm going to cast this for another 4, which takes him down to 1. I'm going to prep Spectral Echo, and I'm going to spend 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8. I'm going to spend 4 on 2 more charges, which allows me to cast any player's prep spell without discarding it, then cast that prep spell again. I'm going to cast Spectral Echo for 2 plus 1 is 3, and that kills the World Devourer, so we win this matchup. What a combination there at the end. Like, you can see the potential for massive damage using Jian and his special ability. So we had, 1 Fatal Harmony and 2 Wildfire Whips all prepped and ready to go. So you can deal a massive amount of damage in even just 1 turn. And the Wildfire Whip is so flexible because while it's prepped, you can spend 2 Ether and cast any player's prep spell. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. That Nemesis is quite challenging. Some of the mechanics, as I said at the start, are very unique. But it's a lot of fun to play against. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that playthrough. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions or anything, leave them in the comment section below. Otherwise, thanks for joining. I think I'll call it a day here.